welcome to Jefferson Liberty Radio, the voice of liberty in the Central Valley of California. I am Matthew. I'm actually out this week, so this is all pre-recorded, but I'm going to pass it along to the team in studio in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about our sponsorship opportunities. We are looking for sponsors for our show. We do really need your support to keep this show on the air. So if you're interested, we believe that we would provide great services to you, your business venture, etc. If you or anybody that you know of are interested in sponsoring our show, we've got some pretty reasonable rates. You can get in touch with us at sponsors@jeffersonlibertyradio.com. You can head over to our website, jeffersonlibertyradio.com. Find us on Facebook, message us, get in touch with us somehow. We do have a phone number as well, 209-214-8099. That's 209-214-8099. Get in touch with us. We would really love to set up a sponsorship opportunity for you or somebody that you know. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you soon. Now let's get on to the episode, and I'm going to pass it along to the team in studio.
Well, welcome, Jefferson Liberty Radio. Tonight we have a wonderful guest, but before I do that, I'm just going to say it's just Pat and Aaron tonight. So, Aaron, hi.
Hi, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
You too.
Good. We're giving this a good shot here. See how well we do. And tonight we have Rodney joining us from the state of Washington, or soon to be the state of Liberty. Rodney, welcome to the state of Jefferson Liberty Radio.
Well, it's good to be here, and it's good to talk to you guys again. I haven't seen you in probably about a year, but it's great to talk to you guys again.
It has been that long. Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Rodney's an old friend of mine, of ours, I should say. He used to live here in California. He was one of the smart ones who decided to move out of California. But before he left, he was part of the state of Jefferson and a very integral part of our little group. And we sure do miss you, sir. We sure do miss you.
Well, I miss you guys too. And I'm up here in Washington, where it's not much better than it is in California. In fact, they're trying to probably follow along what you guys are doing down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the movement started up here. It's kind of like your Jefferson movement, to split away from all the craziness that's going on in Olympia and like your Sacramento. So.
Right. Hey, Rodney, what county are you in by chance? Are you in Spokane County?
I'm in Spokane County. I'm in a little small town called Medical Lake, which is about 20 miles outside of the city of Spokane itself. So I'm closer to the Idaho border as compared to the West Coast.
Okay. Well, I just got through watching a video of your wonderful sheriff. Wow, what a great sheriff you have. And
Ozzy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is one good guy. If you guys, we'll put a little link into that. So if you're interested in watching that video, he's being interviewed by Harris Faulkner.
Fox. Yeah.
On Fox,
on Fox News. Then,
Yeah, it was on Fox. So he didn't say anything about Liberty, but he did. I mean, the state of Liberty. But he,
it's most of the sheriffs on the east side of the state. So Liberty would be. If you know anything about Washington, there's the Cascade Mountains. So Liberty would be from the Cascade Mountains east to the Idaho border.
Okay.
So most of the sheriffs in those counties there are constitutional sheriffs. So they're pretty, they're pretty much for gun rights and
yes.
anything to do with the Constitution. That's what they go by. So.
Wow, what a novel idea to be a constitutional sheriff. Nice.
It's kind of funny that, that living in California all those years, you come up here, and Washington, even though it's the west side of it's pretty liberal,
yeah,
it's an open carry.
Yeah.
They have an open carry policy as far as guns. And to get your concealed permit, you just go down there and pay like $50 and you wait for whatever the time period is, and they send it in the mail. It's a whole lot different than dealing with California.
Yes. That's I think that's that's the way that Wyoming is awesome. I mean, you can just, it's open carry as well. I know that one. I know that state pretty well. Hey, So, can you tell us what's going on? Where are you? Let's just go over a little bit what's going with the state of liberty. You guys are going about it a little different way than Jefferson is. So, can you kind of give us some of that background?
Well, the way they're doing it here is the way it's. I think they tried to do it in California, and of course, you didn't have any representatives that would actually support the state of Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to do it the same way with Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution. You know, the majority of the legislation of the state and the federal government votes
Mm-hmm.
on it, and if you get the majority, then you actually split away. So that's the way we're trying to do it. We actually have some legislatures that are on board, and Matt Shea is kind of spearheading the whole movement. He's the representative out of Spokane Valley, which is just east of the city of Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
And the movement's only really been going since probably about a year and a half.
Oh.
So, yeah, there's been talk of it. And I was up here before. I remember when I was up here before when I went to Colville.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the beginning of it. So now it's kind of organized the counties.
Mm-hmm.
So the counties are organizing. It's pretty much doing the same thing you guys are doing down there.
Mm-hmm.
They, in fact, this weekend there's a gun show, so I'm going to the gun show and kind of do the same thing we did, at the gun shows at the fairs, and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get support. The main thing now is to get the word out as far as what's going on with the state of liberty. There's a lot of misleading stuff that's being said about it as far as different things, and can you give us misleading things about Matt Shea, and so we're just trying to get it out like, hey, no, it's not this separatist group that's trying to take over the state.
Oh,
and that type stuff. It's all about your liberty and your freedom, and that's basically the whole thing behind it.
That's tough to. Some people just don't want to hear that, it's frustrating. I know. So are you?
No, it is. If they can't beat you in the debate, and they just kind of pigeonhole you as a separatist or a racist or whatever it may be. And that's kind of what they've been doing up here, is saying, you look at the population up here, the majority of it is white. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So most of the events you're going to have are going to be majority white. But that doesn't mean that it's only for white people, because I went to Colville that time. The guy that did the opening prayer was a black guy.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a racial thing. It's just that's the way they go about trying to squash it. It's just to say, yeah, these people are, they're out there and da-da-da. So it's just something we've got to overcome ourselves.
Okay. We're having a little technical difficulty here. So that little silence was, what is going on with our board here? So what does that mean, Aaron?
13 minutes left.
Oh, okay. So we'll just get 13 minutes in. That'll give us 20 minutes. That's good. So we have 13 minutes on the SD card. So
okay.
I just
don't know what that means. But
I know
I know what 13 minutes means. I don't know.
There you go. It just means we only have. So anyway, let's not. We'll talk about it later.
Keep an eye on that number there and see what it counts down to.
I will. Sorry that we had to let everybody know what's going on, but we're kind of new at this. Just these two kids here. So let me see. Are you collecting signatures? Is that is it having to be done here in Jefferson? Are you having to do that? Or
I don't know if they haven't really talked about that. I'm going Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be there all day Saturday at the gun show.
Oh, you're going to do great.
So I'm gonna talk to the people and say, we need to gather signatures so we can present it to the board of supervisors, kind of like we did down there,
Mm-hmm.
or we're going to do down there,
right? And
just to let them know that there is a group of people that actually want this movement. So I don't know if they're doing the signatures or not. They haven't really talked about signatures. They just kind of started the event, basically. They had a big event a week ago. They called the Liberty State Gala, which they had a lot of the counties around Spokane showed up, and then Matt Shea was a guest speaker, and a lot of the leaders of the movement itself were there. So it was kind of interesting to hear them talk, and it's kind of encouraging when sometimes you kind of feel like you're on an island by yourself, and you find out that you're not, that there's other people, that they're still there, and and they're with you. So
right. Well, I do know that video of that speech that Matt Shea gave is on the Liberty State at Facebook page. So we will link that up to the podcast.
And there's pretty much the one he did last week is pretty much the same one.
Okay.
It's really informative as to what's going on between the west side of the state and the east side of the state. You know, the west side of the state is pretty much your Sacramento, Bay Area, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
The east side is pretty much your Jefferson, right? That's the way it breaks down, east to west, not north and south. So it's already two different states as far as the values and everything. It's just a matter of they have the population, so everything they vote on it becomes law.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have a super majority over it. You know, the Democrats have a super majority, so they just can vote on anything they want, any bill they want, and it's law. So there's no fighting back, basically. So we have to make this happen. We just have to make this happen, or Washington is going to become California.
Oh,
that's just the way it's heading.
Yeah. Well, I think that that whole West Coast is just it's just difficult. So, Aaron, what do you have? What do you want to ask Sir Rodney?
About Mr. Rod. Well, actually, Rod, what I was going to ask you about was about the gun show. Are you guys are going to have a booth out there with staffing it with you and several others?
Yeah, where is that, by the way?
Where is the gun show going to be?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It'll be at the fairgrounds in Spokane County, which is actually the fairgrounds is in Spokane Valley, which is east of the city of Spokane.
Okay.
That's where it will be. I was there before they had a gun show before, and my son and I went over there to the gun show. And but yeah, it's a good way to recruit people and get the word out as to what's going on. Because they've got a lot of gun restrictions they're trying to do up here. I mean, they've actually voted in the 21 years old have certain weapons and that whole thing.
Crazy.
And they're trying to do the limited on magazines and just a bunch of nonsense. But
yeah,
it's just a good way to get people aware of what's going on up here that don't know, because there's a lot of people up here that don't really know what that is as far as the state of liberty.
They don't. That's too bad. You know, I'm sure that you run into the same problems that that we've had, is, you know, money, getting the word out, you know, letting people know why you're doing it. You know, just basically the same thing. So, like you said, you're educating people, and
exactly. And like down there, I remember going to the different events.
Mm-hmm.
And people would think that you're going to secede from the Union, and you know, all these crazy things that people come up with, which isn't true. It's just a matter of we have different values than the people in a different side of the state, and so we want to have our values, you know, to live our lives the way we want, not so much, and not have you guys telling us what to do.
Right.
And a lot of stuff they don't even understand, because it's two different worlds. You know, over here you've got agriculture, you've got ranchers, you've got people that actually pretty much live off the land, and they have cattle and sheep and, you know, farms and stuff. And they don't have that over on the west side. It's just a big, you know, metropolitan area. And so they, you know, the big thing up here now is the wolves. They want the wolves just to roam. And you can't have that with cattle.
You know,
and
all of those northern states have that problem. I mean, it's Montana as well, and Wyoming as well. So that's
exactly.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So that is a big problem and a difficult one to deal with, because you're talking to people who are have a different mindset on those animals. So let me see. Is there anything else that?
Yeah, I was just going to mention, Rod, that you're there in one of a couple of the counties. You guys have got mostly agriculture, which including wine country. You've got areas that in Whitman County, you have in Pullman, there in Whitman County, you have higher education. That's where Washington State is at. So you've got a little more, I think, a little more diverse economy going than Jefferson might. But I was going to ask you.
I mean, I've got a little cheat sheet here, and it has the major industries of Liberty, which would be agriculture, medicine, hydropower, forestry, mining, shipping, manufacturing, tourism, and aviation. So those are the major industries in this part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
And the population, I think Washington has 7.5, 8 million people, but the population of Liberty would be like 1,600,000. So it's a low population.
So,
but it's about the same size as Idaho.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the operating budget, would be pretty much the same.
Oh.
So it can sustain itself.
Easily.
The western part of the state seems to think that the eastern part of the state can't take care of itself, that we're just a bunch of leeches, and if it wasn't for the western part of the state, then the eastern part of the state would just live in poverty all the time. Well, that's not true. The eastern part of the state would do well without the western part of the state.
That just boggles my mind that would even concern them. You know what?
Matt Shea says, if we're just a bunch of freeloaders and stuff, and all we do is sponge off you guys, just let us go.
Yeah.
Let us go.
Yeah. So you guys are dealing with the delusion of vote and also the regulations that come down from the large populations there too. So is Spokane is Spokane in Jefferson then? Or excuse me, forgive me, Liberty. Is Spokane in Liberty then?
Spokane is in Liberty. The city of Spokane is pretty liberal, which is like a little, it's like a little blue island amongst all the red.
Well,
but
you
have a lot of, which is kind of sad because you have a lot of transplants up here, and, kind of like me.
Yeah.
That have come out of California, and the bad thing about that is a lot of them bring their same, values and lifestyles and attitudes. So they've kind of changed the city of Spokane, and but then the area around it, it's almost like Modesto,
right.
Nassau County, and then you have the rural area, which is pretty much all conservative, but Modesto is pretty liberal. Yeah, that's kind of the way that is.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Did I have any other? Did you have another question?
Oh, not really a question, but I was just going to point out something, Rod, that you're actually pretty close to the proposed capital. I think, didn't you say Medicine Lake is near Spokane Valley?
Well, Medical Lake is yeah. So you have if you know where Spokane is at, west of Spokane is Medical Lake. It's a little small town. What I like about it is kind of like Denair was before all the encroachment from the housing and stuff. So it's a little small town, maybe 2,000, 2,500 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually outside of that. But then you go east, which is like the border between Spokane and Spokane Valley. They're like butted up together, kind of like Ceres and Modesto.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, the capital would be Spokane Valley. So I'm in that county. I would be on the other side of Spokane.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, that's is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about what's going on with Liberty, Rod? Is there anything else?
No, the only thing I can say is for you and your audience is just to keep us in your prayers that that everything that we can actually separate from the tyranny that's going on the western part of this state, and the same with us. And we'll be praying for you guys to do, for your separation. I know it's been a long battle. I'm sure the battle up here is going to be long too. But if you don't battle, then what happens? You lose for sure, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's the only thing I can say is just pray for us and just
right.
Thank you for your prayers.
Like what is that saying? It's for good men to do nothing. What is that saying?
Oh yeah, what is that?
Okay, never mind. We're not gonna.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know which one. We all need to just keep working hard, fighting the good fight is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Well, it used to make me laugh down there in California, and I'm sure it's going to be like that up here. Is people would come up to you and they would talk to you and they'd say, and they'd be all with you on the issues. They'd say, "Well, I hope you guys make it." Well, what do you mean? Hope you guys make it? This isn't a you guys thing. This is an us thing.
Oh, that would make yes. Yeah,
we
all need to work. We need your help. How many times have we said that? That's
exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
It's right. Like, well, hope you guys make it. Well, no, if you help us, then for sure we'll make it. But if you don't, you just don't contribute anything, then it's not going to happen.
Well, we've run out of time, Rod. I'm sorry to tell you that. It makes me mad. I wish we would have figured that part out of this board. Anyway, next time we do this errand together alone, because we don't have our regular guy. We're going to have to have that. Anyway. No,
it's good talking. It's good talking to you guys. And
thanks so much for being on.
Well, I want to give Rod a huge thank you for coming on the show, and Pat and Aaron a huge shout out for taking care of recording this week. Unfortunately, John and I were both out this week, and they did a fantastic job. That is Pat and Aaron, even through all the technical difficulties. So I apologize for this show being a little short. Next week's episode, I promise, will be a lot better. We're going to be talking with John about some of his plans for California, so definitely tune in next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Jefferson Liberty Radio. If you are interested in getting in touch with us, you can email us at feedback@jeffersonlibertyradio.com or via our website, again, jeffersonlibertyradio.com. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook, leave us a message. You can also give us a phone call, 209-214-8099. That's 209-214-4099. We'd love to hear your questions, comments, and all your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe to us in iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, or any of your podcast players of choice. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review in those places in which you can. So iTunes, Spotify, etc., etc. We would really, really appreciate it, and it actually does help our ratings. You can find us on social media, as I mentioned before. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, even some alternative media such as BitChute and Gab. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Jefferson Liberty Radio, and we'll catch you next episode. Jefferson Liberty Radio is a production of Forgotten Liberty Media. The views expressed by the host or guests throughout the various episodes may not necessarily reflect the views of Forgotten Liberty Media as a company.